Welcome to Myrtle Beach Eats and Beyond, the show where a local foodie, that's me, attempts to parlay a passion for delicious eats into a useful video guide for other locals and tourists attempting to answer the age-old question, where should we eat in Myrtle Beach? Don't worry, I've got you covered. With me on this journey are my three progeny, that's them, who also love to experience new eating emporiums, raising them up right. We'll also be exploring fun, family-friendly activities and showing you the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, the lowdowns and hoedowns of where to shop, play, stop, and stay. If you're lucky, I might even cook for you. And if that's not enough to convince you to subscribe, just know that once a week, I am completely wrecking my diet to bring you this content. Now, I'm not saying that you should feel guilty about that in any way, but I'm just saying you should subscribe. Some years ago, I was watching TV and saw some food show describing some truly crazy milkshake creations. It looked intriguing, but since it was in a state far away that I knew I would never visit, I promptly forgot about it. When I relocated to Myrtle Beach and saw a billboard advertising a similar establishment nearby, I was pumped to try it. And finally, after many months of promising myself I would surprise the kidlets with a trip to the Crazy Mason, we made it at last. As a mother of three young children who all arrived to my arms within the space of 3 years, I would say that I align most with a saying that goes something like, "The days are long, but the years are short." Our days are often very long, full of lots of responsibilities, chores, errands, trips, and lessons, as well as some fun and exploration. We tend to burn through the majority of our energy in the first part of the day, so by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we are ready to hunker down in some cozy slippers, eat some dinner, and then relax a little while before heading to bed. That's probably why it's taken us so long to get out to see the Mason, because they don't open until 3 in the afternoon. But as long as the days can sometimes feel, they do pass by quickly, and before you know it, you've been in Myrtle Beach for a whole year and still haven't hit up the spots you most want to go. So, I had to do it. Now, I'm not the kind of mom who would normally take my children to a bar, but when it's a milkshake bar, I guess I can make an exception. The Crazy Mason is a little hole in the bowling alley located inside the 810 Billiards and Bowling Alley in Market Common, as well as inside the North Myrtle Beach 810 Billiards and Bowling location. Crazy Mason is also making plans to make franchise locations at home in Charleston, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Greenville, where they will be serving up uniquely ooey-gooey, sometimes dusted, sometimes crusted, mostly frozen and always well chosen, perfectly blended for tasting splendid, occasionally baked and delicious for stirring, shakes. Milkshakes, of course. Fair warning, if you plan to come, set aside a good chunk of time to wait in line, because although the employees are hardworking and do have a system designed to get everyone served as promptly as possible, these shakes do require a little extra love and devotion. And Crazy Mason fans, they feel the same way, returning time and time again to snake through the queue for another taste of an old favorite or for a chance to try a new flavor different from the last. It's a popular spot for tourists, and you're just as likely to make friends with someone local as someone from out of state while you chill in line together. We visited on a Thursday night in October at around 8 p.m., and we finally placed our order about 45 minutes later, after which we then moved over to wait in a second line for delivery of our frozen confection. We have never been to Disney, so this was officially the longest my children have waited in any line ever. Luckily, a table opened up for us just about the same time the complaints of foot pain began to emerge from their little faces. Do make sure to bring a phone to peruse their menu while you wait, or if you're as lucky as I was, you might be handed a physical menu by a cute child passing by, which will give you plenty of reading material while you wait. Seriously, it took me about 20 minutes of reading the menu over and over before I finally settled on which flavors to try first. The Mason jar is the hook, of course, as it's not only a vehicle for your treat, but it doubles as a take-home souvenir. A row of sinks operated by a foot pedal are located up front, allowing you to rinse your jar and your hands after indulging in your sticky treat. But listen, don't be a wimp, okay? If you come to the Crazy Mason, make sure to eat a light dinner first so you can handle all the deliciousness like a proper grown-up. I watched far too many patrons rinsing away the round-the-rim deliciousness that should have been nestling happily in their bellies. You need help? Just call me. I'll bring a couple kids to help you finish. Kind of like those goat herds you can hire to clean up an overgrown field? Yeah, that's us. 1-800-DESSERT-HOOVER. It's definitely a lot, and if you're not much of a sweets person, it might not be your thing. Personally, I love an occasional sweet now and then, but I also get sweet sick pretty quick, and I knew I wouldn't be able to finish one of these beautiful beasts on my own. But that's why I had kids, so I always have someone to share with. Seriously, 1-800-DESSERT-HOOVER. As if the regular menu wasn't delightful enough, they also have seasonal flavors that make special appearance, and new concoctions that might show up down the road. Just keep an eye peeled on the overhead boards or on their website. You can also make custom combinations yourself by just choosing an ice cream flavor and only the toppings that you would like. And you know that joke I made earlier about the bar? Well, you can also get a Tipsy Mason infused with a little something extra if maybe you're on a really bad date and maybe you need it. I don't know. I don't drink, but I also don't judge. So you do you. Always a fan of peanut butter and Reese's cups, we chose to try the Build Me Up Buttercup, and they do exist because cotton candy, obviously. Who's gonna pass up cotton candy? 2 shakes was just the right amount for us to share. We felt perfectly satisfied and also managed to avoid the sugar hangover that can sometimes accompany the sugar coma. Between the bar food, the bowling, the billiards, and the bountiful shakes, you could probably spend all day inside 810 and not get bored. And just so you know, if milkshakes aren't quite your jam, you can also order smaller, more manageable ice cream cups in the same fun flavors that are especially made for scooping rather than sipping. So, grab a friend and head out to your nearest location soon. I promise you'll be glad you did. Stay hungry, my friends, and keep tuning in for more local eats. Thanks for watching.